First off, we want to thank you for taking the time to preview quizzing in Camtasia for Mac. In the next few minutes, I'll walk you through what you need to know to get started with the features and also how to send us some feedback. Let's get to it. In order to add quizzing to a video, you first have to share the video to screencast.com. Here's a training video I've been working on, and I want to add a quiz to the video, so I'll go to the Share tab, share to screencast.com. Make sure you log in there, and we'll give it a title. And press the share button. Once your video is finished producing and it's uploaded to screencast.com, you'll notice this new share history. What you'll see here is a list of every place you've produced and shared video through Camtasia for Mac. From the share history, you can get the video URL to send to someone in an email or an instant message. You can also get the embed code, copy that from there, paste that into WordPress or some other website which accepts video embed code, and your video will show up there. And you'll also see down below the embed code that you can add a quiz. More on that in just a moment. First, I want to show you how you can access the share history without actually having to share a video. So let's say that you had closed out of this, or you just wanted to see your share history. You'll find that under the Share tab, all the way at the bottom, Show History. Okay, that's back open here, and we can see that we have the video that we just uploaded, Fire Safety Basics, and at this point I'd like to add a quiz to that video. Clicking Add Quiz will open up this web view where you can preview your video and then also decide what questions to add and where to add them. It's possible to add them at the beginning of the video, all the way to the end, or any point in between. If you're someone who likes to pre-quiz your audience, you probably want to add questions at the beginning. So I'm going to start with a question here. We're at the beginning of the timeline, and to add a question, click down here, the Add New Question button. After you've decided where to add your first question, the next thing you'll choose is the question type. Multiple choice, true, false, fill in the blank, or free response. I'm going to stick with multiple choice for this one. Since this is a pre-quiz, I'll give a question like, have you ever been part of a fire safety course? After you've entered the question text, go over to add the choices you'd like your viewers to see. In this case, a simple yes, add one more choice, and no. Okay, that's good for a pre-quiz, but now I want to actually see if they learned anything by watching the video, so I want to add a couple questions at the end. Grab the playhead here, scrub it down to the end of my video, and here I'm going to add a couple more questions. For the first one, I'll stick with multiple choice again. Add a couple choices here. Now, the first question that I added at the beginning of the video didn't necessarily have a right or wrong answer. It was just me trying to understand where my viewers might be coming from. This question, of course, does have a right answer, and since I'm quizzing them on that, I do want to indicate, it's a multiple choice question, which is the correct answer. To do that, I'll put a check mark by that there. I also want to add a second question at this exact point. So to add a new question, I'll scroll down a little bit, find that Add New Question button. And in this case, I'm going to make this a free response question. You'll notice that there's no place for me to put an answer onto the right, since this is just an open-ended, almost like a mini essay question. I'm going to click Add New Question one more time just to show you how to get rid of a question if you've added too many or decide you don't like one. So at any point, if you'd like to get rid of a question, just look for the small X in the corner here, and in this case that would get rid of that and drop us back down to the two original questions. Okay, at this point I've added the questions that I'd like to add, and I'm ready to share this quiz and have people start taking it. There's a couple things I want to check before I do that though. So I'll scroll back up and I'm going to open up this settings dialog here. You'll see two things. The first thing is a checkbox that determines whether or not I'm going to get nightly email reports. If you have this checked, make sure you have the proper email address in there, and every night, as long as someone's taken your quiz that day, you'll get a report that lets you know how many people have taken it, how they've answered, and all those things delivered to your email. If you don't want those reports, go ahead and uncheck that box. The second box you see there is to require viewers to enter a name in an email. This is important if you want to know who the people that are taking your quiz are. The data the viewers put into the name and email address fields, if you've got this box checked, will show up in the reports. So like I said, if that's important to you, you can check that as well. I'm going to go ahead and check it just so we can see what that looks like when we look at the reports later on. Now we have the very important publish step. At this point, I've put questions on my video, I've made sure the settings are right. But if I don't publish this, then viewers won't see the quiz. They'll only see the video, so it's extremely important that you publish that here. Okay, success. We see that down in the corner. That's fantastic. Your link is now ready to be shared. You can get that by expanding the share dialog here. Has a link to the assessment. That's the same screencast.com link that you found in the share history, as well as the embed code. It's the same, so you can grab it from there to share it with your viewers. Or you can still grab the video URL and the embed code from back inside the share history. So at this point, I'm going to share my video out with some people, have them watch the video, take the quiz, and then we'll take a look at the results. Okay, we're back. And as soon as anyone takes your quiz, you'll be able to see on-demand results. To see the results for your quiz, we have to open up the share history again. If you have multiple videos on the left side here, make sure you have the proper one selected and then click View Quiz Results. Great. Here we can see that in fact 6 people have taken this particular quiz. This is the Summary tab. It has general information such as the number of quizzes that have been taken, the average content viewed, the average score, and it also has the detailed CSV and summary CSV reports available for download in the upper right hand corner here. Clicking to download one of these will bring up a save dialog, and you can save those spreadsheets onto your computer, take them with you, or even send them off to other people. This general information is great, but the power here is to easily dig into individual viewer and question responses. Let's take a look at the Viewer tab. Here we can see a list of the individual quiz takers. If we click a name like Nina's here, we should get both her score, in this case she got the answer incorrect. We can go down, dig even further, look at her incorrect responses. We can also look at all of her responses, including the fact that this was her first ever fire safety course and also why she thought fire safety is so important. To get back up to the list of quiz takers, we can use this handy return button here. The last tab is the Questions tab. This lets you look at the responses to your quizzes by question. For example, if we look at our pre-quiz, have you ever taken part in a fire safety course before? We can see that the class was about split. 50% had, yes, 50% had not, no. And if we want to know who answered which way, there's a list down there as well. Let's take a look at number 2, which was our only scored question, to see how the answers broke out. We can see that 4 people out of the 6 got the correct answer, which was to call 911, while a couple others, 2 in this case, answered that they should attempt to put out the fire. Now if at any point you're done looking at this, simply close out your share history, close Camtasia for Mac if you need to, and at any later point, if you want to come back, check in, see if there's been additional answers to your quiz, or just look at the data that you've already seen, open up the share history, come back and view the quiz results. Now lastly, before I let you go, this of course is all a working preview, so we're really interested in what you think of this quizzing workflow. To give us that feedback, click the link here off to the side, or you can also go to feedback.techsmith.com. Thanks for watching.